When we picture global trade, we usually imagine an endless expanse of open water, with skyscraper-sized ships moving goods freely across the ocean. But the physical reality of the global energy supply is entirely different. It relies on a network of highly constrained, incredibly fragile physical pathways. Look at the route connecting the oil-rich Persian Gulf to the open ocean. Roughly 20% of all seaborne traded oil worldwide is forced to squeeze through this exact coordinate. The stability of the global economy relies entirely on this single, vulnerable corridor staying open. At its narrowest point, the waterway spans roughly 35 miles from shore to shore, but the water is too shallow near the coasts for deep draft vessels. The navigable space is restricted to a 2-mile inbound lane, a 2-mile buffer zone, and a 2-mile outbound lane. Every day, up to 20 million barrels of crude oil and petroleum products are loaded from these massive coastal terminals to navigate those narrow lanes. These very large crude carriers weigh hundreds of thousands of tons, ride incredibly low in the water, and require miles of stopping distance. Shoving thousands of slow-moving behemoths through a channel 6 miles wide creates a severe mathematical bottleneck, even before any human conflict is introduced. Human conflict is built into this geography, with Iran to the north and Oman to the south. Because the waterway is narrow, the shipping lanes physically cross through both nations' territorial waters, governed by UN transit rules. This close proximity allows state actors to exert immense geopolitical pressure. They routinely place heavily armed military vessels directly alongside commercial shipping traffic. In recent years, commercial ships have faced boarding parties, active shadowing by military aircraft, and physical seizures while attempting to transit the strait. Keeping this passage open requires a massive international military footprint, including the regular deployment of multi-billion-dollar carrier strike groups. Overlapping territorial claims and constant military friction turn this choke point into an active political powder keg. If a tanker is stalled or seized, the damage moves off the water and directly into the global markets in a matter of minutes. This chart tracks global crude oil futures. The mere threat of a physical closure causes global crude prices to violently spike upward. As traders react, maritime insurance companies immediately hike premiums for any vessel scheduled to enter the Persian Gulf. When the baseline cost of energy jumps, it acts as a multiplier. The cost to manufacture goods increases, and the fuel surcharges to ship those goods across the ocean rise in tandem. A disruption in the strait is an immediate tax levied on the entire global supply chain. But the hardest hit are developing nations that lack domestic energy reserves and rely heavily on uninterrupted shipments of Middle Eastern crude to keep their lights on. In South Asia, economies like Pakistan are highly exposed to this exact risk. When crude prices spike thousands of miles away, it drains foreign exchange reserves, drives up the cost of local transport, and triggers rapid, systemic inflation at the street level. The Strait of Hormuz is the fragile physical link tying localized Middle Eastern friction directly to global economic stability.